welcome to day 3. I'm so glad you've made it this far into the program. It is for you, and I understand it's really hard to find additional time for yourself, so I really applaud you and love the fact you're doing this. Today I want to discuss symptoms and why we get them through menopause, and this is, I've had a clinic now for 14 years, and prior to that I was a nurse, and also I was in pharmaceuticals for a long time, and I think symptoms of menopause are grossly misunderstood. I'm not saying people have got it wrong, but I just don't think it's been explored enough from a natural perspective necessarily and taught to us. I think that's the thing. Like for me, there's always been this mismatch in what is actually going on, explaining why we get symptoms. So I've really done my best over the last 14 years in the clinic to help women understand if this is going on in your body, it's likely that this hormone's out of place, or and then let's try and balance that up so you don't get the symptom anymore. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I feel that if I can give you as much information as I know about the biology of the body and things that I've seen work, you've got a lot more options, and that's a much more powerful place to be in menopause. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through the cycle just to review it, and it will help in your mind understand why some of the symptoms could be occurring if you've got them. Now, if this is our cycle, and I feel a little bit teacher-like now, day 1 is always the first day that you start bleeding in your period. And that's universal. That's around the world. A normal period should only last 3 to 4 days. And kind of, you bleed, heaviest day about day 2, and it should peter off after that. I've heard massive variations of that, and unfortunately I don't think we're actually taught as young women what a normal period is. So something like endometriosis, which is just going up and up and up at the moment, I'm sure there's a lot more women who are undiagnosed with it because we don't actually know this stuff. And on the heaviest day, we should only, if we're using tampons, use 4 or 5. I've got ladies who use 12 and they think that's normal because we just don't talk about it. But anyway, that's talk for another time. With the cycle, so back to the cycle, day 1 is when we would normally start bleeding. And when we look at the hormones behind the scenes, I'm going to rub a couple out in a minute, but FSH, remember that one from yesterday? It goes up and tells the ovary to go down and release an egg. So it does that to the ovary. The ovary responds when we've got them, and it pops out an egg. Beautiful, yummy egg. So the egg then our body wants us to fall pregnant. Biologically, we're designed as women to have babies and procreate. So it's going to tell parts of the body to get ready for pregnancy. So it releases 2 hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Now, you can spell estrogen with an O in front of it. I usually go with the American spelling, which is just an E. Now, those 2 hormones, which are produced at this stage by the egg, but other parts of your body, tell the uterus, tell your breasts to start preparing the body for pregnancy. When the egg isn't fertilized, those hormone levels start to drop off. So what we find is that progesterone goes, egg production drops off, and estrogen does something slightly different. Estrogen actually goes up a little bit for the egg, and then it goes up and drops off when there's no pregnancy. Then we have another period. Now, when all the eggs are used up, you can see you actually won't get production of those 2 hormones due to the egg, because there are no more eggs. Oops, Daisy, sorry, I hope that didn't hurt your ears. So what happens in your body is you start to transition, and other parts of your body start to produce those hormones. Your adrenal glands, your fat supplies, there are quite a few areas that are capable and do make progesterone and estrogen. Symptoms are generally due to those hormone changes though, and for some people it's not seamless. So just very quickly here, and I go through this quite a lot in the module that came with this, and you can tell a little bit about what's going on from your symptoms and what's probably happening inside your body, but I really like to saliva check women during this age bracket, because if their estrogen's gone up and you give them more estrogen, it's diabolical. Some women drop their estrogen, some creep it up. So estrogen as I said, can go up or down. Now, the symptoms are fairly similar for both. So if estrogen starts to go up, generally we gain weight, have cellulite. And that might have been present there your whole fertile life. Like, you might have really struggled with that one your whole life. We can get headaches, migraines, acne, insomnia, depression, anxiety. I call it Bridget Jones hormone. When it's high, we really self-doubt and we're on and off those scales. We're not happy. 1 minute we're happy, 1 minute we're sad. It makes us a little bit crazy, high estrogen. So that's what I'm talking about at the moment. It can make us flush. It can, as I said, give us insomnia. It can give us irritable bowel. It can do lots of things. It can give us fibroids. It can lead to endometriosis. It can, left unchecked with low vitamin D and a couple of other things, lead to breast cancer, ovarian cancer and cervical cancer. So high estrogen is a real issue, and as you can see, some of these symptoms will come on at menopause. So it's not always due to low estrogen. In fact, interesting, through menopause, if you drop your estrogen levels, you can get these things. So generally, look, women with low estrogen, I find they have dry skin, dry vagina, low energy, depression, anxiety. They can flush and they'll have insomnia. My writing's terrible, so I hope that the notes accompanying this are a lot easier to read. So you can see the symptoms can be caused by high estrogen or low estrogen, and we've got to get that right. Now, if you go to your GP and you get HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and you've got low estrogen, you might get away with it. It might be fine because it'll top up your estrogen levels with the HRT, and that might be what your body wants. But in my experience, probably 30 to 40% of women actually have high estrogen to start with, so giving them more makes them worse. Now, the other hormone, and I do talk about testosterone a little bit, but I want to talk about progesterone here. Progesterone is beautiful. It's a hormone that is predominantly produced by the egg, but we produce it from other areas later on, and it's gorgeous. It makes us feel calm. It makes our skin shine, makes our hair glow. You know, when you're pregnant and you've got that thing going on, that's progesterone. And for a lot of women, when they say I was happiest when I was pregnant, I felt really good, I know that their progesterone levels were good, and that's what they're talking about. This one, unfortunately, usually does this through menopause, and I'll be talking about ways to get that up through food and lifestyle. Really needs us, progesterone needs us to be relaxed and to do lots of restorative stuff, restorative yoga, reflection, and not race around. In fact, racing around seems to drain it. The other one is testosterone. Now, unlike working women, where I find their testosterone levels are usually quite high, through menopause I find that it drops quite a lot, and testosterone, when it drops, leaves us quite exhausted. It will account for low sex drive, low libido, it means that we can't put on muscle, and it also makes us feel good. So if we drop our levels, we can feel quite out of sorts, and this is really one reason why, and I'll be talking about this I think on day 6, why I do not think women through menopause should be doing high impact, pushing tires around ovals, doing boot camp-esque hardcore stuff, because often the testosterone has dropped. And if you're being asked to do these mammoth hardcore things when your testosterone's low, you don't get any benefit. In fact, it makes you more exhausted, and it starts to make you feel a failure. So those are some of the hormone changes that occur through menopause. They're the main ones, and they can go up or down. Refer to the accompanying module that I sent through on day 1, just where I explain it more, and also in the book I explain it more. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye.